Hi everyone, this is John. I am here today to do another form of art that I guess I'm developing called endurance poetry. That is poetry that is performed under very arduous physical or mental circumstances or conditions. The first one I did was, I think, 2 weeks ago, where I performed a children's rights poem in 34 languages, which you can find, which I'm very proud of, even though didn't have too much exposure, but it did give me a lot of meaning in my life and a lot of learning. So I had another idea in mind to do something endurance art and poetry to combine the two, and that is perform a poem while holding this massive block of ice that I made at home. And I added in an incremental element as well. So I will be performing a poem called Auguries of Innocence by William Blake. And I chose that poem because I have been studying Bob Dylan's lyrics recently. And my favorite song of his is Every Grain of Sand, which in my learning was inspired by this poem. So this poem felt appropriate for that reason. And I guess, yeah, to add an incremental element. Fortunately, this poem is only 3 stanzas long, but the stanzas are very different. So after the first poem, I will take a 30-second pause while holding the block of ice. After the second stanza, I will take another pause for 60 seconds holding the block of ice. And then I will after the second stanza, I will hold the block of ice for another 90 seconds and then recite the final stanza. And all about endurance, whatever happens, happens. If my hand gets numb or in pain, if the block of ice will melt by then, oh well, that's how it goes. And you can't see it, it's just out of frame, but I do have a timer to make sure my counting around that is correct. And without further ado, here's my second edition of endurance poetry, which is performing or reciting Auguries of Innocence by William Blake whilst holding a block of ice that I made at home. So here we go. To see a world in a grain of sand and a heaven in a wild flower, hold infinity in the palm of your hand and eternity in an hour. A robin redbreast in a cage puts all heaven in a rage. A dove house filled with doves and pigeons shudders hell through and its regions. A dog starved at his master's gate predicts the ruin of the state. A horse misused upon the road calls to heaven for human blood. Each outcry of the haunted hare a fiber from the brain does tear. A skylark wounded in the wing. A cherubim does cease to sing. The gamecock clipped and armed for fight does the rising sun affright. Every wolf and lion's howl raises from hell a human soul. believe it's been a minute. I'm going to give it a few more seconds. He who represents the infant's faith triumphs over hell and death. The child's toys and the old man's reasons are the fruits of the two seasons. The questioner who sits so sly shall never know how to reply. He who replies to words of doubt doth put the light of knowledge out. The strongest poison ever known came from Caesar Laurel's crown. Naught can deform the human race, like to the armored's iron brace. When gold and gems adorn the plough, to peaceful arts shall envy bow. A riddle or the cricket's cry is to doubt a fit reply. The emmet's inch and eagle's mile make lame philosophy to smile. He who doubts from what he sees will never believe to do what you please. If the sun and moon should doubt, they'd immediately go out. To be in a passion you good may do, but no good if a passion is in you. The whore and gambler by the state, licensed build that nation's fate. It's melting. The harlot's cry from street to street shall weave old England's winding sheet. The winner's shout, the loser's curse, dance before dead England's hearse. Every night and every morn, some to misery are born. Every morn and every night, some are born to sweet delight. Some are born to sweet delight. Some are born to sweet delight. Some are born to endless night. We are led to believe a lie when we see not through the eye, which was born in a night to perish in a night. When the soul slept in beams of light, God appears and God is light to those poor souls who dwell in night. But does a human form display to those who dwell in realms of day? I don't know if you can see it. Yeah, it's melting. So this is now a 90-second pause that I still have to hold this block of ice that's been killing me. I will now place this block of ice down. My hand is very red. This concludes the second edition of Endurance Poetry.